Hello, good afternoon, or good day, depending on what part of the world you are. God bless you and welcome to YouTube EcoWise channel, where I share some ideas and tips on how we can best economize in today's fast growing inflation and stuff like that, and how we can recycle goods around your home, and so preserving the life of your whatever it is, food item, or the life of your gadgets, you know. So today, the first tip I'd like to just touch on my last video where I did share some tips on microwave cooking. You can check out that one. It's microwave tips. So today I just like to add this last bit which I didn't get to add, which is a display of a popular dish that we have in Jamaica, and no doubt some people do it here, rice and peas on Sunday. And so this is a dish of rice and peas which I made, but however it was done in the microwave, and it's quite simple to be done in the microwave. A container such as this, it uses less space, but a container such as this, you can add 2.5 cups of rice the most, and then you double up on the water, 5 cups of water. Then you can add coconut cream, that's the norm. You add coconut cream, salt and pepper, paprika and spices, and for coloring you can add browning. If you don't have browning, you can add soy sauce. And if I've left off anything, spring onions, so vital. Spring onions, garlic, and onions. And that's the basic, but you can add more according to your taste. And you can also add some powdered seasoning, which there are a wide variety of, Cajun seasoning or teriyaki sauce and things like that. Or you can add paprika, and then you add seasoning salt. There's so many ways to do it, but paprika is very useful in coloring meats and also in rice and peas. And so after you've done all of this, you sure everything is in there basically, then you put it in your microwave, because the main difference in cooking on the stove versus microwave is that microwave is much quicker, less electricity, and it is less bother and mess and stuff, because you just put everything in one dish. This is a basic dish. You can use a bigger one if you like. You put it in the microwave, and the timing for such a size as this is at least, this is serve at least, even if you eat a lot, 2 persons or 3 perhaps. So if your family is bigger than that, then you would need more. But you put it in the microwave, and the cooking time is only 25 to 30 minutes, and you just have to look at it perhaps once if you need to, just once. And so, sometimes when you look at it once, you can add butter if you think you want to, but you don't have to. And so 25 to 30 minutes, and that's the end. And while it's cooking, you can do whatever else you like without worrying, is it going to burn and stuff. But the only things can burn in the microwave, but just make sure you add enough water. That's why I tell you, make sure all the ingredients are in it, and then you can safely forget about it, in comparison to the stove top, which you have to check on it every few minutes, and it's very technical. And if I were using the dried peas, with the microwave, there's a lot of pre-preparation that's necessary. One would have to soak the peas, and then you would have to boil it on the stove top for at least an hour, and then you store it in your freezer. I'm all about preservation, so you store it by a pack of peas, dried if you prefer the dried peas, and then you pre-prepare it, because the microwave cannot cook dried peas. It would take at least about an hour and a half, and that would be a lot of electricity. So you pre-prepare, And so even in the case of meats, you pre-prepare and you fry your chicken pieces and stuff, and then you add your garnishings when you're ready. Because you fry those stuff and put in the freezer, and when you're ready, you just put in a microwave dish with garnishings of onion and so on, and soy sauce. So with the microwave, the one thing is that you do a lot of pre-preparation, but it pays off in the end, because when you pre-prepare, you freeze it, and then when you're ready to use it, here. So I'm just adding this tip. Many of us perhaps know, but you never know. We share our ideas. And so the second tip that I would like to add is, as I always say, don't throw away too quickly. Now this is a tablet which I recently acquired. This tablet is a Samsung notebook type of tablet, and so it came in it's an old box. I bought it on eBay, and quite reasonable for £25, 23 to £25. It came in a box similar to this, an old looking cardboard, not fancy. But I decided, as I love to do, make phone case. I've discovered it's quite simple, because I've made this is a tablet case which I used from a box. It's an informal tablet, so I just use the box of a keyboard I had and just covered it with sellotape. But the construction from scratch came from stuff like this. It is decorative cards which I use to make my other leaflets, and so this was made from that. However, this tablet is almost non-functional because it cannot download much. I won't call the name of the brand, but it cannot download anything. The only thing I have on this tablet, which I purchased some time ago, is a Bible, and I decided I'll just use it for that purpose. It cannot download anything at all. I didn't know that's how this brand, it's quite simple and cheap tablet that I got some time ago, and so it cannot browse the web properly, nothing at all. It cannot do much, and so I saw the necessity, and so this is the tablet, right? And I use cardboard, and so the rest of what I'm going to tell you is a kind of common sense, because I didn't get to do it on hand. It would have taken too long a video. But you measure the cardboard against the tablet and simply cut it out to shape, and of course you have to make way for the camera. Now most cameras are in tablets that are upright at the side, but this one is a vertical type of tablet, similar, looking like a laptop, and that's what it's looking like now that I have put on the case. And so I had to, this is the best I could do with making the window for the camera. But it's quite okay. And so after you cut out the box the size of your tablet or notebook tablet, then you simply use duct tape. And that's why I try not to be out of duct tape. Duct tape can be used for so many things, and it adds such a refined look. It adds such a refined look to your craft items. And so this is great duct tape, and I ingrained it with some black duct tape and secured it with sellotape. And so it's quite tablet case, quite secure, made from cardboard box, but simply just refined with duct tape, and secured. I also applied some duct tape to the back of it to stick it onto the cardboard, and it's given many years of use as it is. And And the advantage of constructing your own, items in some cases is you can customize it to your suit. Here I have a pocket, and there's another pocket, and there's a notepad. And so, yeah, there ain't no tablet case you're gonna get with all of this stuff. So it's something you could try and fun doing, and you feel so accomplished having done. And you can check out my video also, which involves the making of placemats, and it's the same type of thing. It looks very similar to this. The placemats were made just using newspaper, yes. But how many times I try to source my newspaper from, like the supermarkets, where I shop and so on. And so you can just use an unopened newspaper. Just use a regular newspaper and just laminate it with your favorite duct tape. But in this case, I use wrapping paper, a nice burgundy wrapping paper, and just covered the newspaper, and nobody would have known that that's what you had done. And you can use that as placemats, because placemats need to be covered, with plastic. They need to be covered with plastic to make them waterproof. And so there's so many things you can do with things around your house, and in an economical way as well, because when you make placemats, when you buy, consider the cost of wrapping paper is quite cheap, and you can get some real attractive looking wrapping papers in a lot of department stores, quite cheap, £4 the most for a basically good looking one, and it lasts you long time. And so you can use it to make placemats, and you can use it to do so many things. And so, as I said, the main feature of this video is you can try it and you save a lot, because I paid £25 for this tablet, or £24, but for the case, which can be so costly at times, and I would imagine for a tablet this size, I paid £0. And so that's your useful tip for today on EcoWise. I hope that you find it useful, and you take care until next time.